I'm Janaru. Thank you for joining Arcane Gate. And as well as we have Charles, Fallen Monk. And today as we have PallasStreams joining us.
Hi, I'm PallasStreams. I'm a variety streamer here on Twitch. My channel, you can commonly find anything from Division 2, Pokemon, pretty much. If there's a game that I might be interested in, I probably play it on stream at some point or another. And then I'm also commonly found on the Hobo Slayers team channel when I can. So that is a stream team I'm on, and we do a bunch of D&D on there, which is part of why I'm here.
Nice. Well, also one of the first conversations we had was actually about D&D, so that ties into it as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So as a new player, I guess, what is something that you, want to know more about in terms of getting into D&D or the process?
So let me to answer that. Let me start by saying that my introduction to D&D was a bit confusing one. Besides watching, because I watched the one you did with Rocket Punch back in November for Extra Life, but I was moderating a lot of that going on, so I didn't see everything.
Right.
And so when I did my first D&D campaign with them, which is still going on, I did not know, like, actions to me were, fighting. I didn't know you could do other things.
There's the action, the bonus action, the free action, and the reaction.
Well, no, not just that. Just because there's the actions you see on your character sheet, but then there's the actions you don't see. The role play side.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
okay, yeah.
learning that has been something I've been wanting to get more into and learn a lot more of.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I feel like you've been doing pretty good with roleplay and Hobo Slayer campaign for what I've seen.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I've been trying to get out of my shell more of because it's been a lot of watching other people and trying to figure out what they do to more like just trying to force myself to ask more questions and do more checks and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's honestly a good thing to look at, because I'll say, like, the combat stuff, that's one of the easier things to learn once you get over the learning curve, but the roleplay stuff, that's, unless you really have a theater background or you've just got that type of personality, yeah, it can take a little time to actually get used to it. I know for me, like, figuring all out was hard for me, but Treywick was pretty easy since he's actually a theater nerd.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I started theater my senior year of high school, and then I kind of went from there, as in started acting, then I did technical stuff, and acting at the same time, took classes, all that jazz. Also, This is water.
I had to take a second look at my drink to see if it was actually a Pepsi product.
Wait. Why is it? It's because it's flavored.
You drink flavored water or what?
Yeah. Because I like a little flavor in my life. That's just how the water is done. Yeah. Pepsi flavored.
Pepsi flavor? That's technically all water, yeah.
Yeah. Also, I just realized I did not reset my mic settings to just one person using this mic. I'm going to try to stay away from it and not peak it too much.
Gotcha. What I'd say with the roleplay stuff, that's just something that comes with time. I'd say, like, just don't be afraid to go out there and put yourself out there and kind of feel silly at times. Just have fun with it. And I'd say the more you do it, the easier it gets, is usually what I say.
Yeah.
And that's the fun of it, is to get silly with it as well. Because that's what the funnier things happen, is you just want to kind of stir the pot, see where you can get. And I love putting the DM off guard and having them come up with interesting scenarios.
Oh man, y'all interviewed the right person last time, man. Did y'all talk about any of the homosexual stuff with that with the Danzig?
A little bit. I know that still made me laugh that you burned down the bar in the very first episode.
Oh yeah. The tavern was burned down, and then we've also shut down. Is that the right phrase? Shut down a random person who he attacked us thinking we were up to no good when we were just traveling or camped or whatever. And so we traced him back to his house and shook him down with all he had, with Danzig leading the way.
Oh boy. That'll work.
Yeah.
So, like you said, it can be very interesting. Mixing things up and really throwing off the DM.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Dovo actually has a really good question. How do you suggest new players open up?
Oh man. So I will say, for myself at least, the first couple of sessions it was hard. What helped me the most was, and this is just me personally, everybody's gonna be different. I actually listened to a podcast called and of course right now I go blank on the name of the podcast.
Was it Acquisitions Incorporated, the one you listened to?
No, I want to so bad listen to that one. Join the Party.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Join the Party is great because, especially in the beginning episodes of that, Amanda, who plays Inara, she actually said in the last episode they had that episode 1 was her first time ever playing D&D.
Wow.
And so hearing how she explains stuff or how she asks questions and how she gets used to it, it really helped me personally, because like I said, my experience coming into it was like, I don't know what actions are you attacking. And so hearing how other people are asking questions and how other people are doing things really helped me open up for those campaigns sessions.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's what I say is, in my experience, more for DM standpoint. When I started playing, I'm someone who just playing with my friends. I didn't really care about embarrassing myself. I usually will honestly make myself look like an idiot sometimes just to make my friends laugh. And so that part was pretty easy for me, but I know it wasn't always for others. So generally, as the DM, I would try and ease players into it. When I noticed someone wasn't engaging as much, sometimes I'd just have like an NPC address them directly, not really call them out like in this very tense moment, but just like for a simple thing, like a shopkeeper, like, hey, you want this? Just try and slowly build up some interactions until they're more comfortable doing it and actually be willing to take some of the bigger stuff.
Yeah, and not every DM is that way as well. In one of my campaigns, with Rocket Punch, CT Gamers are DM, and so what he'll do is whenever he's got talked to us, he'll be like, "All right, who's going to talk to this person?" And it's just whoever comes up. So, like you try to open people up. Well, not every DM is going to be that way, and so, it's getting, as a player itself, especially if you're already open up and talking stuff, you kind of gotta be the DM in that side of things, like you are, and kind of see if you can direct them to talk as well. See if you can find a way to get them interested and keep them active.
Yeah, that's usually what I say is slow exposure is what I usually recommend. It's don't go to sink or swim aspect, or just throw them in the water and either they live or they die.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing that I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Sorry, there is a little bit of a delay, so but
Oh, is there?
I know with me, like I am the kind of person that needs to know what's going on before I open up. So learning the game slowly, but also having some other people who are more open about the game to sort of get an example, I guess.
Yeah.
Definitely partying up with people who uh you know are going to be involved and are excited to get you involved. Because it is a party effort in role play. Just one person role playing and opening up isn't. It's not going to be the same because when there's that little awkward interaction of, oh, am I overdoing it or am I not? But if everyone's doing it, then it's just fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fair. So, we got any more questions? I feel like we wrapped that one up pretty good. Thank you for the question in the ball games. And do I know who that is, Trevor?
Josh.
Oh, it's Presto. Hey.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hi, Dad.
this is the first time I've actually talked to him in a while. Hey, son, how's the war? You should write home more.
Dying.
Please don't. I miss you.
Yeah, I guess. Are there any other questions before we go on like other topics or?
Oh, Josh actually has another one. How,
That's a good one.
as a DM? Oh yeah, that's a rough one. I guess I'm the one who should answer this since I'm the one with the most DM experience out of all of us, even though I'm pretty sure you have more DM experience than I do. But anyways, I haven't had it happen too much. I've been pretty good with players. Just how I have tried to handle it is I don't try and call them out on it. That's for sure, because I don't want it to be an all-out argument in the group. Usually, I'll try and usually if it's like something that's persistent the whole game, I may send them a PMs like, "Hey, could you dial it back a few notches?" But what's a good example I can think of? I'm not having any off the top of my head, but I know one I dealt with was there was one player who was actually watching YouTube videos in the middle of the game. And to be fair, that guy was a younger guy that was just a family friend that his parents wanted him to just get out more. So that was our solution, to send him to play Dungeons & Dragons with me.
You need to get out more. Here, go in this basement.
Yeah.
Go in his basement and hang out with these nerds.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just really liked me and thought I'd be a good influence on them. But with that, like, I was just like, hey, could you stop that? And
Why did they hate him that much?
Is this the level of D&D we are, that we're making fun of other people for getting them into D&D? It's like anime fans make fun of their anime fans for being weebs.
Yeah, it's self-destructive behavior.
Why
We're all
wearing
pro to
cat ear? No. Funny enough to explain, this is like the only good pair of headphones in this house right now. I was going to buy a new headset, but I forgot because my last headset, the last time I put it on, it just went.
Oh.
And that sucked. You need to get a life. Go spend your days ridiculed for playing tabletop games, you nerd. Yeah, that's the only toxic behavior I can think of, because he would start arguments with the players along with that. He was a teenager, not going through a rough time, and I didn't call him out on it. I just sent him a message like, "Hey, could you not be on the phone? It's distracting to everyone else." That's usually what I said and to him, and I talked to him out of game about it because I actually drove him there, and he was pretty understanding about it. But I was worried if I called him out on it and he gets the feeling that everyone's attacking him, because if they're being toxic, more than likely most people are going to be annoyed at him as is. And if it just comes a dog pile, I feel like once he gets on the defense, that's just going to be a bad idea, and he's not really going to be being willing to receive any criticism you're giving him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'd say. And as a general rule, when people make players for me, I try and have the rule of I don't let people play evil characters unless I know they can do it right. Like I talked about with the last stream, I know they're going to be murder hobo, I don't let them play an evil character. But if they're going to play an actual smart, willing to work with the party evil, I'll let that happen. My rule is make a character that works with the party, not against the party, because in the end, it is a game that involves a lot of teamwork. And while some people can let things pass like, it's just a game, some people can be pretty salty if you ruin the fun for everybody else.
So is that, and it's kind of leads into another question, is that the line between following what your character is? Because there's chaotic, good, evil, etc. All the different things about a character. Is that the line between that and actually being toxic?
Yeah, that's what I'd say is actual toxic behavior for me. Is there's a few ways to do it in D&D, because it's a game where you can do literally anything, but I'd say toxic behavior for me would really be just someone that really ruins the fun for everyone else and just use the excuse as what their character would do. And while what their character would do is a very valid excuse, there's some moments where you may not do something the party agrees with, and it's what your character would do, but that's natural. That's conflict in a group. But if it's like every session you're just pushing the buttons of the entire party, I feel like that's where it gets ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because also, even though if that's your excuses, that's something that your character would do, then your character actually does not belong in the party. Yeah. You're wanting to have a character that belongs in the party some way. And if you want to do an evil character grouped up with like holy paladins, be creative. Make them smart. Make them want to use the party. Because in D&D, you're almost... I'm just going to, I guess, use this as an example. Like, as a show, you are like the first movie of Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship. You are one group. As soon as you start diverging, you end up in some chaotic thing of Game of Thrones where everyone's against everybody. You can't control that.
Yeah. That sounds like a pretty good analogy, actually.
Thank you. Came up with it just now.
My man. I'd say that's my answer on that. Is I've never really dealt with it a lot, thank God, but the platform I have a lot of people ask me what they do with toxic players, and Brad can attest, like, the general for that group kind of became the rant corner for some people when it came to dealing with stuff from their, even DMs that were being toxic, like, because that's something that we could actually go into as well. There's DMs that are toxic, because first DM I actually dealt with was pretty toxic.
I'm one of those people that like silently reads the rant channel. I'm there. I'm always watching, but I don't I don't comment a lot, and I agree it is entertaining.
Wait, is this in your Discord?
Yeah.
Okay, I need to go check that channel now.
Do you actually have a Discord link you can share?
Mine?
Yeah.
I would have to get off my camera feed right now because I don't have access to it on No, wait, I should actually have access to it on wait, can you get it, Pals?
I can
it's
get
in
it.
my link. Oh yeah, appreciate that. Me being on a mobile device, it's kind of hard to do in the middle of stream.
Yeah.
No worries.
Y'all got to remember, I'm living in a little house on the prairie over here. You guys are over there in Cyberpunk 2077.
No, I don't have the Google Fiber, so it's not me.
Okay. Well, still, whatever you have is better than my hotspot.
That is true.
Oh, hold up. One momento. Well, actually, continue.
Yeah.
Let me give Brad some access. You continue.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you never did think to him. But yeah, some toxic. When it came to the toxic DM, like essentially, this guy was somebody that was perfectly fine one-on-one, but for some reason, when he got around a bunch of other people, it's like he had to be the biggest guy in the room, and he's the kind of guy that would seek one person out and make fun of them relentlessly to kind of put them down. And I became that person for that group. So that sucked. And
I just realized if Brad can't post a link, that means I probably can't either. Here, I'll do this. I just posted a link in our chat. One you can copy it.
Oh, cool.
Hey, JBK, what's up?
Yeah, I'll do that real quick.
I appreciate that. Yeah, so I only had 2 sessions with that group, and both of them were pretty terrible. And it was my first ever games I ever played, and there was that. He wouldn't let me do much with it. It was just a miserable experience ever dealt. But
Are we talking about D&D or Call of Duty?
I feel like we've given Brad and Josh too much power. The combined roasting they do to us.
Oh, this is great. Well, you know me. I love chaos when it comes to like D&D and all that stuff, and this is just beating it. I love the absolute chaos of it.
Should I get Kristen in here just so she can roast me as well, so we're getting it from all angles?
Oh man, that would be interesting. Me and her in the same conversation. You sure you want that?
Oh no. Hang on. Hey Kristen, you want to come in here for a second? I'm on stream though before you walk in. They roasted me in the chat. You want to join in?
Look, it was an accident. I didn't mean it.
Also, Kristen, this is Tyler, the guy you teamed up with to destroy us in the Extra Life campaign.
I just got thumbs up. Yes.
Hey. Thank you. Get up you.
I love that she gave me a thumbs up for that.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh no, she loved it. I'm really interested to see how Extra Life goes this year. Red background means danger.
Yep.
Oh, no kidding. Oh boy. So anyways, yeah, that's about the end of that story. We kind of let that dominate for a while. Pals, you got any more questions you want to throw our way?
At the moment, no. I'm sure I'll have more as the conversation continues.
Well, you're part of how many campaigns right now?
2.
For me, I'm technically part of 3. About to be 4.
Yeah. I'm open to more.
No, wait. Did I count that right? No, still gonna be 3. Because Nope, I'm actually at the lowest I've been in a long time on that too, because I was for some reason still counting the Tuesday night group.
Oh yeah, that's actually why we have this show usually on Tuesdays. We will still have it this Tuesday, I believe. Um, yeah, that's we used to play D&D on Tuesdays. Now we have an open night.
Yeah. Coronavirus willing, we will have it.
Yeah. Well, that's the good thing about having it in this format, even though it's, um, there is that delay. We're all safe and secure in our own little cubbies.
Woo. I mean, till the Wi-Fi gives out, which I'm actually shocked that has maintained Twitch for this long.
I'm actually happy it has. Like, keep going, Wi-Fi. We believe in you.
Yeah, yeah. Because I'm using my mobile data for this. I'm having to use having to use the Wi-Fi for that, but I got unlimited, so I'm good.
Oh, sweet.
One topic I actually had in mind for us is we're saving the story stuff for our wrap up, weren't we?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. So when it comes to new campaigns, what are you liking more so far, pal? So are you liking the in real life experience, or are you liking the online experience? Because you do both, right?
Yes, I did both. Ah,
Because one thing I've noticed is it seems D&D is swapping more and more to digital as it goes on, with D&D Beyond being as big as it
right.
is, and they're about to launch their app soon. Which, other than that, there's a lot of other apps like that, like Squire, Cobalt Fight Club, stuff like that. So it's just more as a new player, what has been easier for you? Because I've heard arguments for both.
So I will say, first of all, my in-person campaign is a hybrid approach. We do meet in person, but we use D&D Beyond. And so our DM, a CT Gamer, they just released an update to D&D Beyond where he can run the um I'm drawing a blank, the encounters. He can run it. He don't have to keep track of like uh all the stats, health, and all that stuff manually anymore. He can do it all in D&D Beyond. So we kind of have a hybrid approach with the in person, but with our Hobo Slayer campaign, it is fully online. So we use Roll20 for that. It's hard to say which I like better. In person is a lot easier to go get derailed from the campaign a bit, if that makes sense. Because it's like, for example, we've had multiple sessions where it's like, okay, we're doing this thing, and then DM's having to talk with one particular person while they're off. They may be 100 yards from us taking care of something while we're doing something else, and it's so easy while he's talking to them for us to derail and the whole session go off on something else. Whereas on the online, that happens not nearly as much. And so our campaigns are more focused, I guess, or our sessions are more focused online.
Okay. That's also a pretty fair answer.
Yeah, so like I said, it's hard to say which one I like better just because there's pros and cons to each. From my experience at least.
Yeah. Me, I feel like it's easy to get derailed either way. Honestly, I was thinking it was easier to get derailed online because I know in the middle of a game, someone muted his mic and he's playing Warcraft in the middle of D&D. He's like, yeah, I just attack him and he unmuted his mic again. It's like, geez, okay.
Yeah, we haven't had that. The most we have to deal with is we all have the Hobo Search Team channel open, and at most, because I'm the one that does the recording or the streaming, and so at most I might have to do something with OBS or Twitch or something like that, and that might get me off a little bit for a minute or two, and I might miss something, and that's the most derailment I have at least.
Yeah. I know, like, my experience with it, I kind of agree with you, Palace, of it's easier to get derailed in a normal, like, person-to-person game than it is online, but Also, it's because I don't know. It's right there. You see everything. Your focus is on the screen,
Yeah.
and all the information's coming at you from there. Whereas in person, you almost have all the information scattered all over the place. Like, oh, I need to look at this manual here. I need to look at my character sheet. How much health is on this creature over here on the table? It's it's a little bit it can be distracting, like if one person goes off the rails, but
Now,
that's also the fun of it.
now let me ask this because you brought up something that was interesting. When you say the health of the creature, are you talking from a player or from a DM?
Oh, I'm talking about like from a player in base of like how much damage have we done to it.
Gotcha. Okay.
I know um I keep track of how much damage, like who all has attacked what, but that's me. That's what kind of player I am. I'm the kind that watches the battlefield and tries to strategize with everyone else without metagaming.
Yeah. Man, that could be a conversation in itself.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. It only got annoying for me. I had a player did that one time, and he actually was like, "Wait, this enemy has this much HP. Why didn't that attack kill it?" I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't want to go into the whole mathematics of why you did your math wrong or why I'm statting these differently.
Yeah, and in our in-person campaign, we don't know the health of any enemies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's normal or not.
Oh, that's
but
normal.
okay.
Yeah, it's normal. I've just dealt with players that memorized the entire book.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is my weekly call out to Travis. Take that. Last time I saw him, I was like, "Yeah, I heard you call me out on the stream. That was hilarious."
Okay. Yeah. I can think, for example, one thing is interesting on the health topic is, so we had a creature we were fighting. We're like, I can't remember what it was, but we were like, well, what is that? And we were like referencing something from a movie or something like that. Like, oh, it's this. Like, no, it's nothing like that. It looks like an alligator. And so I pulled up on D&D Beyond, and when I pulled it up, I was like, "Oh, here's a sheet with its health," and it's. I was like, "Oh."
Yeah,
I was looking for a picture, and I got the stat block.
Yeah.
that is something I'm very hesitant about Montana play because I know that happened. This was like her third session, so everyone give her slack. A great friend of ours. She's a mom who started playing with her daughter, and it's like one of her favorite things to do now. And yeah, it's awesome. But yeah, she always heard about it her whole life, but never actually played it. And she's in her 40s. But she, but in the middle of the fight, she was like, "Oh, you're about to do lightning damage. Don't do that." And I'm like, "How do you know that?" It's like, "Oh, just pull up the stats right here." And I'm like, "You're not supposed to do that." And the character she said that to was a lightning mage, so it's like, "I'm not supposed to act like I heard that right." I'm like, "No, you're not."
Oh yeah, I never go that far. Like everything,
Yeah,
all the information I try to
difference
go.
between it, but yeah.
Yeah, all the information I receive, I try to think of it as if I'm actually in that situation, what am I learning at the moment?
Yeah.
Like, oh, they took a lot of damage from this type. Like, I actually say, oh yeah, I remember that one guy we played with. So for example, if the enemy looks like it took a lot of damage from fire, I'm going to take note of that. It's like, okay, then we're going to use fire. I would do that in a normal circumstance. But if it's a creature that my character has not seen before, I will be completely dumb about it.
I appreciate that. Yeah, because I'm glad no one did that because in the first session, since everyone's fought scarecrows before in that game, because I used them in the last campaign. So I was like, I swear to God, y'all use fire, it's going to be bad.
Oh yeah,
So
I didn't play. I didn't know about Scarecrow myself.
Okay.
so it's funny. I would be like just like throwing this out there. I would be perfect for your campaigns because I remember the most random things. Like I could fight an enemy and then 2 sessions later not remember what they're weak to.
That's
So
fair. There's
I would not remember a thing.
okay, like some of the books I have on hand. These 2 books are absolutely slammed with monsters, and they've made more to add to it. They made like basically a second monster manual.
Yeah.
And
let me grab it here.
but most of them are pretty slammed with original monsters. Oh, you got that set. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So the Dungeon Master's Guide, Monster Manual, the DM's screen, and the Player Handbook. It was on sale. It was normally sells for $160. I got it for $130. I actually got for Christmas. I got $100 in Amazon gift cards. So I used that towards. So I only paid $30, and then a week later it dropped to like below 100.
Oh,
Yeah,
you still got it.
it's
Updated better.
well, I didn't know it was going to drop more, but yeah, it was. I don't know if it's still 90 or not, but if anybody's interested in it, keep an eye on it. It keeps dropping.
Yeah.
That's tempting. It's really tempting. But yeah. So that's just something I can't say I blame you, Brad. I feel that with the SMT games, I literally had to basically make a cheat sheet when playing the Persona games when it came to some monsters.
I need to find a way to PayPal characters to do things in the game. Donating to
They're
influencer
literally
characters.
talking about the game that we were all a part of without even seeing it.
Guilty as charged.
Yeah. I need to get with them again, see if they'd be down for doing that for Extra Life again, because I'd be so down for it.
I think they're considering it already.
Okay.
Oh, hey.
As
Yeah,
far
at
as
least
when I was talking to them after that last year, it seemed like they were wanting to make that a regular thing at Extra Life.
it went great. So yeah, I'd be down for it.
We can prep this time a little bit longer.
Yeah, and me and you know a little bit more of what we're doing instead of going fresh into D&D streaming.
Oh yeah, that was our very first D&D stream as well.
Okay.
The one that started it all.
Yeah.
Well, if there's anything y'all need help with, let me know. Happy to help out.
Yeah.
Sure, think about it. Yeah, I'm still debating on what I want to do. To give you all a little insight, what I was thinking of doing instead of more adventure, I was thinking more of like a crazy gladiator arena style, something, playing something with that. That's what I was thinking because I underestimated how much they wanted to kill you guys.
I kind of saw it coming. That's why I suggested the enemy being the higher amount, because I know that would be thrown out first.
I'm glad you did because we raised a lot of money that way. So
Oh,
that's
yeah.
great.
We just need to find better ways of killing us.
Yeah. So I was wanting to do more options this time, and I figured doing it arena style instead of an actual adventure, that'd be fun. Like, I was thinking Hunger Games in the sense that you can actually donate items to people directly and not in the sense of y'all trying to kill each other.
So it's sort of like we're against the gauntlet that chat's throwing us at, or throwing at us.
Yeah, basically.
That'd be interesting.
Okay. So it's So it sounds like a combination of the rule core for both players and chat.
Yeah,
exactly.
And yeah, I'm thinking of hosting it by my favorite NPC as well. So yeah.
Oh.
Well, is the one you dealt with very briefly, Treywick Ludwig von Wolfenstein, at your service.
Yeah, I figured that was it, just by like everyone's reaction for Tuesday night's campaign.
Yeah, I've brought him into 3 campaigns now. Every time, it's usually pretty good reception. At the least, I just love playing him. He's so silly. but he will be the master of the arena in the said games. At least I want to keep him and his dashing charisma.
Yeah, like
But have
Chibi Kitty, I love the books, how people would donate items, tributes in the Hunger Games, and maybe a certain amount donated can trigger release of a monster.
that's what I was thinking is have it set to where like an even amount number can go to the party and an odd amount can go to the monsters, something like that.
Right.
Just like either extra minions show up, but you can heal the monsters, crazy stuff like that. Because, geez, because I think Will got the biggest donation of the night, and I just had to throw everything at him that I had.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I think we finally got everything together for that stream. Maybe like the week of, I think. Like we had the ideas.
I know me, I was just like one negative comment away from a panic attack, so yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't. And from my point of view, I wouldn't even know if I would more say of y'all had it ready minute of because the fact that we still had to figure out how to stream it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we kind of got there. It's like, hey, how we gonna do? It's like, we'll figure that out. I'm like,
yeah, because I was the mod for the whole thing, and no one had talked to me about how to do it. So I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
sorry.
figured it out there.
It'll be so much better next year, I promise.
It's fine. It's just one of those things. I found out at 10 o'clock when we started everything. I'm like, oh yeah, by the way, we're gonna have D&D later. I'm like, I've never seen a D&D session. I don't know how this is gonna work.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, like we've had a lot more experience in that than we did back then because we're just like, all right, how many cameras do we have? We have 2 cameras. Okay, we can make that work. And now in our streams, we have 4 cameras going at the same time while swapping scenes in between.
Yeah, I don't know what we would. It's crazy that thing went as well as it did, and I'm really glad it did. And if you and Brendan weren't there, I don't know what we would have done.
Oh yeah, you guys helped out a lot.
Yep. So I kept an eye on everything in the back.
Yeah, Jimmy Kitty, you probably talked to him at some point. Then he was the guy that was behind the chat. I know you watched the game. I don't know about everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
That was good stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm kind of excited for that.
I am too. Like, I was gonna try and subtly find a way to mention that to Cam and Will when we get to the next meetups. Like, so extra that. Yeah, we're gonna save some kids.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm one of their mods. I can mention it anytime.
Oh yeah, it's true. I just want to talk about him in person sometime.
Oh yeah.
I'll get. I can at least see the idea.
That will be great.
Yeah.
But anyways, to wrap up the original topic we got started on, my feeling on the whole ordeal was I like D&D Beyond. I feel like it really is good for inventory management, stuff like that, because who knows how to calculate gold weight? Brad, if you do, shut up. But stuff like that, there's a lot of tedious things to keep up with that I feel like D&D Beyond makes it really easy to keep up with. And I like that about it. But as just a DM who likes to homebrew a lot, I do like pen and paper because I feel like it's a lot easier to actually just make handouts to give out and stuff and not have to program every little thing.
Mm-hmm. I know definitely with D&D Beyond, our players have started using D&D Beyond as their character sheets, but I think that's as far as we've gotten. We are getting ready to do a Twitch integration, but we need more information about each characters because there are spoilers.
Yeah, well, everyone gave everything away what they were, I think.
Not quite. There's more mystery to the characters, but I won't give anything away. Like there's just I also don't know what all can be given away in the application without going live because I cannot actually control it offline, which is weird.
For
Fair.
what?
They won't.
D&D Beyond Twitch extension.
Oh, well, I
They
mean,
also want to.
so there are. I think Critical Role has the extension on.
Mm-hmm.
You can always check out what theirs gives you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been more listening to him recently than watching him, so I'm not too sure.
Yeah. I know there's a way you can edit what is being seen. The only complaint I have about it is I'd like to customize it offline so I don't have to go online and customize it while it's there. You can customize what side of the screen it's on and all that, but you can't control what all is being shown. I would like for it to just show the stats, the character name, that be it. But I don't know if it shows like everybody's equipment, because what if there's just kicked my camera. I don't know if there's anything that a player might be hiding or a player's spell that they don't want to reveal yet. Because I know a lot of our campaign, a lot of our players have a lot of secrecy to them. They like to keep things to themselves. It adds to the role play. So our reactions are actually genuine. So I would like to keep that as much as we could.
Man, y'all play so different than we do. For the Rocket Punch one, our DM has access to everything. So,
Mhm.
Well, I mean, I know everything, but
Yeah.
Right, but like, okay, so you even know when they have something hidden.
Yeah. I don't know every individual spell they have, but like most of their like really big stuff, I do know.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Like I'll at least have to like run by me like their classes, their subclasses, their races, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a few things where like, so we also have it to where it's private from all of us, so a player cannot look at other players. But if I'm going in like through the Twitch extension, I see like their name, their race, their class.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hesitant to fully integrate it until we get a little bit more fleshed out about who each other are. Each other are?
That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you wanted to, at some point, you could always create a like a one shot.
Mm-hmm.
When you create a character and make some things like have some things be that hidden thing you don't want shown, and have some like me and on the stream whatever, and you can enable stuff, and that way you're not showing anything that's going to be on your main campaign.
Yeah, that's actually an idea. We'll probably have to. We'll do one shot eventually. Coming soonish.
Yeah, but that's just kind of what I was thinking. Though, if you're wanting to add that soon, you could do a one shot first and tweak it in the one shot, without exposing anything that's upcoming.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm. But
sweet.
I do definitely recommend the D&D Beyond to anybody watching. It's pretty
handy.
Yeah, it's pretty user friendly.
Yeah, and the people that run it are pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're cool. But yeah, and okay, come back to me. I had a thought, but it just slipped me real quick.
Oh. I guess what has been your, I don't know, I guess biggest challenge going into D&D? Like what was the hardest thing to learn? Well, I know you said the role playing, but
Role playing was the big one of the biggest things. The next biggest thing is understanding character building. Like every time understanding how to build a character, and then every time I want to level up, understanding like what to do is still almost annoying because of like because of the fact we're doing it manual, whatever, or on the website, whatever else. And it's like understanding where do I click to do these things, or all right, now I've got access to additional proficiencies. What I do to select that, or I found out actually in the Hobo Service campaign, we'd already went up 2 levels before I realized I didn't have all my proficiencies even checked off.
Hmm.
So there's things like that for character building that is not very, I wouldn't say user friendly, because it's probably something I could have looked up. I don't know. It's for people who are new to D&D. It seems like there's still some work that needs to happen to make things more
Yep.
friendly to new people in terms of stuff like that and understanding it.
Right.
Was this on D&D Beyond or Roll20?
Both.
Okay, because I will say Roll20. I'll definitely put D&D Beyond over Roll20 and being more user friendly, because Roll20, it's very particular. You have to pretty much program every single little modifier detail sometimes.
Yeah.
Which can be kind of annoying to me. And me being a pen and paper guy, I know that's been the trouble with me, is I don't really put a lot of descriptions in that. It'll just be, I'll write down the ability I have on the sheet and just keep it like on the side for me, because I got like a character sheet on the side. And no, like every time I'll like look at those spells, it's like it encouraged me, like, would you like to fill out every single detail of the spell? I'm like, no, stop.
Yeah.
It's like the little paperclip showing the bottom of the screen.
And I will say Roll20 is bad about, like, if it's not in the player manual, it's probably not in Roll20.
Yeah.
Because like we just leveled up, and I had to so both my characters are fighters. That's probably I did a fighter, and so for my first campaign with CT Gamer and them, that was my first time anything, and CT Gamer was like, "Well, what do you want to do?" I'm like, "I want a tank. I don't know. I mean, I didn't really have any idea what I could do." So we built a fighter we all started at like level 5 or something, 5 or 6, something like that. And so
that's rough for a first out.
yeah, because immediately you're like, oh, you have a action. Oh, by the way, you have a second action. Like, why do I have a second action? Well, you hit level 5. Yeah. It's like there's always things thrown at you at one time when you start off like that, and and I understand the reasoning for it as far as the story goes that he's got, but at the same time, for people who are new, it's a lot to keep track of.
Right.
Because it's also not in one place either. You have your character leveling up, but then you also have the specifications of the class itself, which are in completely different sections of the book.
Yeah. So yeah, that's nothing on him. It's just hard for new people when it comes to figuring out their stuff.
Right, and I wasn't saying that was an issue with my demon out there. I'm just saying that it's just a lot. It's a lot of information for someone that's new to understand, and it's not given in a way that's easy to figure out, in my opinion.
Right. I'm sure we all love CT Gamer here. He's our boy.
And also, we've all been there. We've all been new to D&D at some point. And that's another thing is, like, if you're new, just realize that even the most experienced players have been new at one point or another.
Yes.
That is sadly a guilty pleasure of mine when I see, like, someone, like, even Matt Mercer slip up on a rule. I'm just like, okay, he's human too. It's okay. It's not like I want him to fail. It's more like, okay, that makes me feel better when I absolutely bumble a rule and ruin an entire encounter.
Right.
So to give you an idea why it was so that was so hard to me at first. So I'm a level 5 fighter. I'm Dragonborn, which means I have a flame attack. I have to understand. Yeah. I'm a 2-weapon fighting, great weapon master, a polearm master. And so I have the extra attack. I have action search, which I didn't use until like the last campaign.
Oh,
or last session. So I had all this time not knowing what it was, not understand it.
And you have your pole arm attack as well with a bonus action.
Yep, the opportunity attack.
Oh no, if you're a pole arm master, you can also attack as a bonus action when you make your normal attack.
So I can do my attack, a second attack, and a bonus attack.
Yeah, you with pole arm master, if it's the feat, it gives you the ability to hit your enemy with the pommel of your weapon, and it gives you an extra attack, which is D4 plus your strength.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. You picked the complicated one there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was
And,
supposed to be easy. Didn't it mean it's so easy?
Yeah, I'm not trying to put you on the spot or anything, but you know about your second wind as well.
Maybe. I see it here. I've yet to use it.
Oh, that's a big one. That heals you.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the last 2 sessions, we have finally we've been going since November or so, inconsistently. And the last 2 sessions we've been against some monsters where it's like I'm starting to like look at that thinking I need to start using that.
Yeah.
I had one.
'cause-
We had one attack because I'm up front for everything because I'm basically the tank in the group, and so it's like, we had one attack where that monster, I can't even think of what it is, but I crit rolled 3 times, 3 rolls.
Whoa, awesome.
And so I couldn't attack, I couldn't but I couldn't second attack, I couldn't do anything. And so what he did it was he's like, yeah, you're behind the monster, but he didn't see whatever he's fighting this other guy, his tail whips and while he's attacking and sends you flying back. And he rolled, and because it was crit fail, I had 30 something damage.
All right.
And the session before that, I was down, so I'm like at 98 health or something like that. And so the session before that, I was down to 20 something when we finally ended the encounter.
That's rough.
So I've had 2 sessions back to back where I'm like the meat stick for the monster.
If you're going to be doing that, yeah, second wind's definitely a must. Because, yeah, it'll heal you for D10 plus your fighter level, so like a minimum. So minimum to get your level, so that's handy as it is. But yeah, your polearm master, it's one of the best feats you can do with a fighter, because when you action surge, there's a lot of debate on this, but how I do it is it gives you an extra bonus action as well. So that means paired with your normal extra attack, you get 6 attacks in a turn.
Oh, okay, yeah. I that makes sense because the bonus action. Yeah, we hadn't. I always forget about the poem thing, so I didn't realize I had a bonus action. So really,
Yeah, it's all good.
So really, I get 3 attacks per turn. Yeah. So because I was forgetting about that, for my action surge, I was only doing 4 attacks. So
okay.
Also with polearm, is that the one where you get an opportunity when they reach coming to?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have been using that.
Okay.
Okay, I'm glad you got that. The opportunity attacks is something that always trips up people.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, CT Gamer makes sure I understood that one real well.
That's good. But yeah, you picked a pretty good build. Halberd fighters are one of the best ones, especially if you get Sentinel at later level.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
So I'm using a quarterstaff, a trident, and 2 hand axes.
Okay. That's nice. So you're not. I thought you were using a halberd.
What are you talking about? Oh, for the polearm?
Yeah.
Polearm is glaive, halberd, quarterstaff, or spear.
I thought you said halberd for some reason. I'm sorry, but yeah, quarterstaff works for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I did quarter staffs, honestly.
Oh yeah, they
Yeah,
can
I'm
really
just
like help you get to that rank. Like if you want to get something more damage, it's a good starting out weapon.
What is?
yeah,
Quarterstaff.
Gotcha. Yeah.
yeah, just a fun weapon in general.
Mm-hmm.
What was and it's also hilarious whenever you get the killing blow and you hear that. Well, how you want to do it? I'm like, well, crap. How am I going to kill this guy with a quarterstaff? You can think of some creative
That's a good
things,
question.
or have to create some creative things with that,
Yeah.
So many ways I can bludgeon him to death.
right?
Don't you love those moments whenever the DM says, "How do you want to do it?" It's like I said, I cast this, it hit him. That's all I got. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Sometimes people will go blank and they'll just let me do it or what. I know.
And this is the thing that always annoys me is like I wish there was always a way to know when you're going to do that, because otherwise I would use a different weapon so I could be more creative with my answer.
It's fair. Oh no. Oh no, there's always ways to be creative with it, because I remember I recently watched all Castlevania, and I remember going into it thinking, why does he use a whip? That's lame. But then I watched it, and I'm like, oh my god, he's cool.
Whips are actually pretty interesting, and I eventually want to make a build with whips. That sounded weird. But
You can do it with a druid.
yeah. I've thought
or
about making a Kratos character. So get a character that what is it? Is it great weapon fighter where you can dual wield
Yes.
non-lights?
No, it's two-handed.
Oh yeah,
It's
sorry,
two-
two-handed.
It's two-handed weapon or two-weapon fighting. Great Weapon Master is two-handed weapons.
Gotcha. So the one where you can hold two non-light weapons. So imagine having two whips and just have a Kratos barbarian.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, it's two-weapon fighting. I have that on mine as well.
Yeah.
I have D&D Beyond open right now, actually.
That's one of my list of character ideas that I want to make eventually.
Yeah, it's
Actually, let me just.
well, it's a feat that you can where you don't have to where you can wield two non-light weapons. The fighting style two-weapon fighting is when you do you can add your ability modifier to the second attack when you hit as a bonus action.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about the feet one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. I know you can't do that without a feat. There's no way.
Yeah. This is really random, but you ever seen the movie The Rundown?
No.
It's an old The Rock and Paul Walker movie, and it's pretty good. Like, it was just when The Rock was really getting into acting. And there's a fight scene in it where he fights a guy that uses two whips, and it's a pretty cool fight, actually. Yeah, I'll have to link that in the chat later. But it was a pretty entertaining movie in general. Christopher Walken was the villain of it.
Needs more cowbell. Also,
Yeah.
I love the character sheet. 3 zeros and 3 plus 4s.
Oh yeah. For everybody in chat, I just linked my sent them my character sheet.
Okay. But I was thinking Christopher Walker voices because that was one of my favorite moments in the movie. He said, "Wow!" Walking.
Yeah. I guess should we almost go to the funny story segments?
It's been an hour, and honestly, I think the story segment can last us like another half hour, probably.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
I have another question for y'all if y'all don't mind.
Oh, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Go
Continue.
ahead.
So, you mentioned Denaru that you DM as well, right?
I will be eventually.
Okay. Go ahead.
Oh no. I was done. Continue.
Okay. I was going to ask how how did you go from, and this applies to you as well, Fallen Monk, how did you go from being a player to a DM? And what advice do you have for someone who's looking to go already? Because in our I talked about this with you as well. In our
Yeah,
Hopeless Heart
I forgot.
campaign, we talked about, we're fine right now, but in the future, maybe you would like to, because we meet every other week, maybe we'd like to throw in a one shot in the middle of between weeks or something like that to get some extra content or something like that. And so thinking about that, I'm like, okay, I've never DM'd before. What advice do you have for transitioning to that when you've never done it before?
Well,
Real quick, Chibi Kitty wanted to know if you rolled for your stats or you used point by Palace.
What do you mean point base?
Basically, instead of rolling for stats, there's a system where you have so many points and you boost your stats by those points instead of rolling for them.
Believe we rolled for him.
Okay.
Well,
Gotcha.
in person we rolled. Yeah, we rolled it on Roll20 as well.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, just checking. But Trey, go ahead and give your answer. Sorry for interrupting.
oh no. Really, for me, the first question, I guess, is to go back, was what kind of DM are you? Are you what kind of storyteller do you want to be? Are you character oriented? Are you world oriented? Stuff like that. For example, with me, I like building a world, and that's kind of where I went from there. I have this story to tell to players that I want them to be in this world, and I created a campaign based off of that, and based off of just sort of what kind of experience I want to give to players.
Okay.
That was pretty much my transition. It's still not complete yet, but it's getting there.
Yeah. Me, I've always wanted to be a writer. Actually, that's been a goal of mine for a long time now, and to get in kind of sad stuff, I had actually given up on my dream to be a writer for a time, and D&D was kind of like a coping thing for me to kind of get that itch of wanting to write out of me. That's what it was kind of meant to do. And it kind of transitioned to me getting more and more into writing and actually believing in myself and my ability again. And I took over a small group that lost their DM just to see if I liked it, and I really did. So I just dove head first and started really working on it. So that was just me. I've always liked writing, so it was kind of that transition. And wasn't easy at first, I'm not going to lie. DMing is hard. You have to have a pretty good understanding of at least the core books. And by core books, I mean just the handbook itself. Not all monsters, but at least the monsters you want to use. And not the whole DMG, but just what really will apply to your dungeon and stuff. Because you can have a good campaign and just out of really just a monster manual and a handbook, everything else is just fluff, really. But yeah, you need to have a good understanding and foundation in those books before you really put out there. And when it just comes to the story, what I really just tell people is just have fun with it. And if you make a mistake, I wouldn't even acknowledge it because more than likely your players haven't noticed it. And if your players mention you made a mistake, don't freak out. Just roll with it. Just, hey, sorry, I messed up. We'll fix that next turn, or we'll go back and take a few steps back and fix that. And other than that, it's just mostly working out the story, working out the kinks. When it comes to one-shots, you have a lot more freedom because it's hard to get a whole just story out of a one-shot. Usually I recommend just have a basic setup and an idea and kind of go from there. Because the main focus of a one-shot is more than likely going to be the combat and the actual encounter. The more where stories thrive to me is your own actual campaigns.
Okay.
And when it comes to Trewick's point, which I think is a really good thing, is what kind of DM you are. me, I consider myself more of a story and character-driven DM, and I do a decent bit of world building and combat and mixed in with it. I'm trying to be more rounded in general, but that's something I've always been told is I always had the characters and the story down. I just had to work on the other things. But I've gotten to the point where I'm pretty rounded up to me.
I do want to point out what Brad said in chat. Said, I think for people intimidated to start DMing, it's good to remember that you have to be willing to be bad at something before you can be good at it. And
yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, I think that is that's more than just DMing. That's anything. You wanted to try anything in life. You just have to realize you're going to be bad at first.
Yeah, that's where I feel like people really complain that the Matt Mercer effect really comes in, because I don't really think it's a problem. I think it's great that Matt Mercer's helped get D&D more popular. So since that's the #1 problem people have is they don't have people to play with most of the time. But now, since it's so popular, there's at least a lot more interest in it now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the problem stems from them looking at themselves and expecting to be that as soon as they instantly get into it. When it comes to either playing or DMing, and his whole life, or a majority of his life, doing it, so of course he's a whiz at it. And all the players are actual actors. And Treywick, you're great just with your little theater experience at role playing. So
thank you.
Professional actors, of course, they're going to be great at it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Sorry, if we lost audio for a second. I tried to get up and like the cable popped out.
I
do like Paul's last comment. My one shots have always been story-ended with 1 or 2 combat scenes. Might be because I usually do it to introduce people to D&D, but I also like writing stories and all.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of like, as I'm thinking about, the future of like whenever I do get to DM a one shot, I feel like me personally, I'd be more like that. Because while the people I'll be doing it with for Hopeless Command will be already used to D&D, I want to be that kind of DM in my opinion, because it may not always be them I'm DMing to.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I get in that mindset from the beginning, it'd be a lot easier to introduce new people, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, and that's a good. Yeah, Paul's had a pretty good answer there, and so did Brad. That was a good answer. But I feel like that's good in short story format, the way she put it. And just, yeah, I do like to have a story to set up with, like I did with the live stream. I did have that little bit of exposition to set up the actual story itself, and sprinkled in some stuff as it went along.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the combat was the main focus of that one, not going to lie.
Yeah, but it's really hard to whenever you're also limited on time. A one shot is one thing, but also being limited to like a 2-hour period, and then
usually
have to go on with the story. You kind of need to wrap things up.
Yeah, if you're not going for just combat, it is really good to set the time slot a little longer than what a normal session would be for one shot to me. Because especially if people playing a lot of new stuff they're not used to, it may take them a little longer to actually figure out what they're doing. Especially if it's playing spellcasters. Got a lot of reading to do.
Oh yeah. Luckily, I've made a lot of spellcasters, so I can make a spellcaster, in about 30-40 minutes. But that's like finished.
Nice.
But yeah.
But Pallas, did that answer most of your questions? You got any more for us?
Yeah.
Trying to think of what other things I might have thought of in the past. Yeah, that answers at least that, because that, like I said, that's one thing I've been considering is like, how would I transition to that? So that's very helpful.
Another thing is like if you do come up with like a question later on, and this is for everybody in chat, tweet us, ask us questions that you want us to talk about on Deep Speech that we can get into more detailed about.
Yeah.
All
right, sounds good. But yeah, so this will be This will be kind of our wrap-up segment that we do. For those listening to this a little late, the reason me and Tyler just lost our minds is End of All Games question was, why am I single? You're all low on charisma, I guess. Should allocate your stats better.
Even if you have high charisma, and does not won. Next time on Deep Speech, why is End of All Games single? Where's my bardic inspiration?
If we don't have a guest, that's just going to be our title for an episode.
Yes.
All right. So now to regain my composure to the best of my ability. So, a segment that we've been thinking of ending these games on is just asking our guest, what is a good D&D story you have? Or just a funny one in general, whether it's an awesome moment or just a hilarious moment or something you just look back and laugh at.
Oh, man. Probably that first Hobo Slayer session.
That was a good one. I'm shocked that y'all made it out of that one.
I am too. So for those of you who don't know, we in that campaign we have a tiefling who is a pyromaniac. We have my character, which is a elf fighter, and I just went to dual classing with wizard. And then we have a bard and a fighter. And so we were in the tavern. There was some type of like celebration. The innkeeper. It's like, I just did it. My masterpiece of brew, and I gave it out to everybody like that. And so, everybody went to bed. We drank and went to bed. Woke up in the middle of the night to a noise, and the innkeeper killed his wife, and everybody turned to zombies except for the mayor. And we come out to all this, and immediately our fire and our bard jumps over the rail because it's a 2-story inn. Jumps over the rail to take on these zombies, and the first thing out of our tiefling's mouth is, "Where is the alcohol? Is it somewhere I can get light it on fire?" And next thing you know, we have a fighter and a bard down, rolling for what is it? The stay alive,
Death
whatever.
saves.
Death saves. Rolling death saves, and we're trying to figure out how I'm up on the balcony still going, okay. I'm an archer. I can continue picking them off because I can't get to them without catching myself on fire and going down. So it's like, we'll see how this goes. We eventually made it out with everyone alive somehow.
Yeah, that was the point where the fire spread to where their bodies were, and they were taking death saves from the fire, weren't they?
Yes.
Oh.
And it spread so much, like I could go down the stairs, but I'm gonna get stopped because I'm gonna have more zombies in the way, so I'm not gonna make it to them. I could jump over, but as soon as I jump over, this fire is spread so much, I'm gonna jump in the fire.
Yeah, that's what killed me. Was I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. That'll help kill the zombies. Then both people went down. I'm like, oh, is it about to spread to them? Then he mentioned it. I'm like,
And
I'm just glad there was healing potions, because as soon as the bard went down, I'm like, well, that was a short campaign.
Yeah. And the thing is, even still, we're on level 2 or we're on level 3, I think, now, and we still only, besides the bard, actually the bard is the only one that can heal.
Well, you can heal well, you and Lumberjack can heal yourselves, and that's about it.
Well, no, like we don't have like spells and that we can heal unless we have a potion on hand. We can't heal ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Well, both of y'all have second wind, so you'll have that self heal.
True. Yeah, that's the only thing we have for us.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I meant. But yeah, that was great. I was pretty tense listening to that one. I'm not gonna lie.
Also, second wind doesn't exactly help if you are down. So you have to
That is true.
you have to be proactive about that.
That's why you action surge and roll 2 death saves in a turn.
Woo! Or go.
You
Okay.
cannot do that. You cannot do that. I was making a joke. Die twice as fast.
That's what I was thinking when you said that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. No one in our luck was like, oh, nat 1. Crap. Under 10. I'm dead.
Speed run death the good D&D way.
Mm-hmm. Gotta die fast.
Yep. And Jimmy Kitty said just take the lucky feed, and that's probably a good option at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, this gives me another question for you.
Oh yeah, what's up?
What is both of your opinions on player deaths, PC deaths?
Ooh, yeah.
Okay.
Most people agree with mine, but I know I said this on Reddit before, and I had people just eat me up. I was like, no, it ain't a real campaign unless you die. My opinion on player death is I'm okay with it to an extent. I'm actually doing death differently in the Arcane Gaze stream because for a while you're kind of screwed because up until level 5 you have no way to revive, and that's only if the person's body's intact and it's less than a minute after they die when they get revivified. And that's a cleric only spell. Bards can get it. Bards will have access to stuff later, and so will druids, and paladins. But other than that, you're kind of screwed when it comes to resurrection. And when it comes to long-running campaigns, I feel like while a death can add to the campaign a lot, it's also hard to tell a story if the characters are constantly changing.
Mm-hmm.
And while in some stories it works, like I'd say a Game of Thrones-like story where the cast is ginormous, that's where it can work. But in a D&D game, you're centered around a small actual group of people. And if that group's ever changing, I could see that being a little bit of an issue. That's how I feel about it anyways, because think of it as like a normal story like Lord of the Rings. If Aragorn died midway through a story and was replaced with a random person from Gondor, like Boromir's brother just took Aragorn's place, it'd be just slightly jarring to everyone who just followed Aragorn's story the entire time and everything that Aragorn was potentially going to do, but then he's just gone.
Yeah.
And was just replaced with a similar character. So, yeah, just let me finish my thing.
Oh, yeah, no.
Sorry, buddy.
No, I didn't know it was a delay.
Oh, it's all good. But also, death gets to the point where it'll mean nothing eventually, because once you get past Revivify and you get raised dead, you can pretty much resurrect someone as long as their body is just still there and the head's still on. And then there's eventually true resurrection, where you can revive anyone who died in the past 200 years, even if you don't have their body. You just have to say their name, and they can come back.
I didn't know about that one, actually.
Yeah,
Wait,
that
what?
one's... Yeah, there's... Literally, it becomes the point where you could, as a DM, mention someone vaguely in the campaign, and the player can like, oh, how long ago did they die? Oh, like 100 years ago. Okay, I bring them back. It's like, yeah, you can do that. Okay.
And what level is that?
It's a 9th level spell, so
Okay, that makes sense.
there's that, but it's still absolutely insane.
And
So
which one is that for? Is that like a wizard or what is it?
clerics and druids get it, I think.
Okay.
But pretty much that's just ridiculous to me. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about that.
I'm thinking about how we'll
Because-
start campaigning all the people that died in that first section and thinking that's perfect. And then you said cleric or druid. I'm like, never mind. We have neither.
Yeah, there's also a spell you won't get till 17th level, so yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I was thinking it'd be like, near end campaign is like as a full circle, bring everybody that died back to life.
Just have like the Avengers in game moment.
There you go.
Yeah. So what I do for mine is the cost of it is for Vivify it's like a gem worth 300 gold. In the what is it? I think the raised dead one's like a 1,000 gold gem. In True Resurrection, it's like 2,000. Fairly expensive in most terms, but by that point in D&D, your character should have that just on hand, probably. Because in-game, you're a legend at that point. So what I saw was, as a DM, it was hard to use death as an actual obstacle in the game when it came to either them or NPCs, because they could just bring anyone back. Like, there's an NPC that died right in front of them. They barely knew. They didn't really have any attachment to him. But it's like, oh, we can just bring him back to life. And it's like, okay, death's not going to have any meaning if this keeps up. But, so what I did for this campaign is I made, you can still do it. It just takes, I just glanced over the chat and got derailed by the last few messages.
Yeah.
So what I do is there's a specific material you need called a lifestone, where basically normal gem won't work. You need that lifestone. Because of that, and it's literally a cure to death, it's very expensive, very hard to get. Because I thought when you put stuff like True Resurrection out, that literally means the big bad guy naturally, as a person, would think, hey, I just have to hire this 17th level cleric to constantly keep bringing me back. And the campaign never ends. Because it's something to try and keep in mind. What the players have access to, some enemies can possibly have access to as well. But yeah,
Hmm.
that is the long version of my answer. I'm sorry about that.
No, that's fine. And also, keep chat at least like PG-13-ish. Sorry. But yeah, was that your answer?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Pretty much. I guess also since it was asked, we are the Arcane Gate. I'm Denaru. Guy over here. Let me see which direction am I pointing. It's been a while.
You pointed the wrong way.
Oh, other way. Yeah.
Charles Walker. And this is our guest, Palace.
Yeah. We usually do a D&D session around this time, but we are doing our Tuesday stream on Saturday, and we're going to do another stream exactly like this on Tuesday, hopefully. But I guess our my answer would be it depends on the type of death, because you don't want as a player, you don't want to die in a stupid way. You don't want to just be like, oh, I'm one shot.
Right.
If a character dies, I'd rather it be eventful, you know? Like we had one character, he died because somebody was missing in the party, and it was through an ogre. But we actually had like a funeral for him. I know someone mentioned character funeral. It was eventful, and plus it was one of those things where it just kind of it was one of those things where we were overpowered, but that was also a part of the story where we were learning how strong we were, how not strong we were. And it didn't come across as like we just got one shot. We went into this thinking we were, all hot and tough, and we got slaughtered. But we were successful at the same time. And it depends on the player as well. Like, if the player, in my opinion, like, if the player's okay with a character's death, they're going to be fine to continue. They're going to write up another character and come up with a way for them to bring it to the story. It's situational to me. I do agree with what you said, though. It's complicated whenever you have somebody constantly jumping into the campaign whenever someone leaves, and because that could be confusing. But if it's done a certain way and it's not often, like, you don't want, as a DM, you don't want to kill your players like, every 5 minutes. You don't want every session to be a different group cast of people. You want it to stay consistent. You're not trying to kill your players. You're trying to craft a story and experience. So whenever you actually kill a character, it needs to be tragic. It needs to add to the story, and not just a throw this character away situation. If that makes any sense.
Yeah,
that makes perfect sense.
Well,
that's what my main thought is. I'm not really a fan of the whole as they're called, beat grinder campaigns. I feel like just kind of counterintuitive when it comes to telling a story. I feel like I said, death can add a lot to the story, but if that's constant, it'll eventually stop losing meaning, whether you're able to revive people constantly or it's just they're swapping out characters so much the campaign kind of may lose the same shine it used to have.
Oh, yeah.
If you're expecting to change out characters all the time.
Oh, yeah. Well, do you have any more questions?
I have one, but I won't ask it after.
All right, that's fine. I guess we'll probably end it here. Thank you all so much for watching.